Hello to everybody watching and listening, and once again, welcome back to Mechabellum. It has been roughly, I want to say, 3.5 days, maybe a bit more, since I bought this game and played it, and I have been feeling like a little child, immersing myself into a video game. Completely silly, completely useless, but a whole lot of fun on my vacation, quote-unquote vacation. Yeah, this is amazing. I want to play this more. I have ranked up to about 425 MMR and I'm holding somewhat stable around that level. So, and I think that is a fair level for me. Also roughly 30,000 combat power. I've unlocked all the techs and now is the time where I think I will start to record some more. I recorded my first few steps in the game and now I want to basically play. I want to record. And if a game is too one-sided or just not fun enough, or the opponent quits, or I quit really soon, then yeah, I'm not going to upload it. But if a game is really a lot of fun, or the enemy has an interesting strategy, whatever happens, then I'm going to upload it, I think. So yeah, until that happens, see you then. So this is a bit of a blast from the future kind of thing. I just quickly wanted to show my unit setup. I've set up my crawlers for mechanical rage and subterranean blitz so that they can get close to enemies very quickly and they can actually survive a bit. I'm leaving this in here in case I maybe sometimes need it, and acid explosion because it's just super good. I don't really like replicate. Crawlers fall off very quickly. I don't think of them as a killing unit. I think they are just chaff. Then I have the Fang. And I went for Ignite instead of armor-piercing bullets because I don't really want to rely on Fang damage to get anything done. And the rest, of course, range enhancement because it's good, mechanical rage because it adds a lot of DPS too, and portable shield because it makes them high-quality chaff. The sniper, I didn't pick double shot because I can just get quick reload. It doesn't really lower damage that much as far as I can tell. Range enhancement and elite marksman so that I can out-snipe any potential counter snipers, and electromagnetic shot because it's really good. I don't really go for any of these. Arc lights, I have range enhancement and electromagnetic shot, not really charge shot because usually your arc lights already do enough damage against whatever chaff the enemy throws at you. Also not armor enhancement. Anti-aircraft ammunition, I'm leaving it in there in case I ever need it, and elite marksman because if I sometimes maybe get into a game where the arc light ranks up quickly, I can make use of it. The Wasp, I think of it as a harassment tool and some air chaff. It gets energy shields, range enhancements and jump drive. Very useful upgrade. I think it should be more expensive. I don't particularly think of them as bombers, and I don't think Elite Marksman is going to be good. Ignite, potentially I should throw that in here, but yeah, I'm just going with electromagnetic shot in case I need something that is annoying me. And in case I need to fight that. Mustangs, I don't want to use Missile Interceptor because it diverts their attention from whatever else needs killing. Range enhancement, high explosive ammo and aerial specialization along with armor-piercing bullets just makes them really good anti-air and anti-ground chaff defense. I think of them as a bit of anti-flanking units. Unless the enemy puts something really big there, they are not going to pull it off with just wasps usually. As for my tanks, I went a bit on the damage side here. They are already tanky enough for the most part. Also, damage sharing can backfire quite badly. Mechanical rage and armor-piercing bullets for extra damage and DPS. Range enhancement in case I need to shoot the enemy from a range, and electromagnetic shot because it's a lot of sources and they have splash damage, so they can really disrupt enemies. Steel balls, I went with energy absorption. I don't think I've ever used it. I also went with damage sharing, range enhancement, and mechanical division. Somehow I think of this as diversion because it creates crawlers. I did not pick armor enhancement or heavy target, though I might need to try those out in some cases. Next we have the Stormcallers, Incendiary Bomb, Range Enhancement, Launcher Overload and high Electromagnetic Explosion. I think there's nothing more to say about this. High explosive ammo, maybe I'm sleeping on this upgrade. But 5 meters extra splash, I mean, it is almost double, but I don't really think it's worth that much. I want these things to do really heavy damage in most cases and have my Mustangs do the small fry. This I don't particularly like the attack interval being increased. I feel like you can just get launcher overload if you need to extra DPS this, because it makes missiles easier to intercept, and I have been in places where that is important. I did not pick quantum reassembly. I find it a bit of a trap. Range enhancement, electromagnetic shot, elite marksman, all of that fairly normal. I didn't pick the jump drive because I don't see myself shuffling them around. I could also pick charged shot, but it decreases range, and it's just, range is really good on Phoenixes. As for my Rhino, I've chosen to make it more of a tank than probably most people. The photon coating is still super nice and Whirlwind too, but field maintenance and power armor can really make this thing almost unkillable by smaller units. The other things, I think Final Blitz can backfire a lot. Mechanical Rage probably is nice, so is Wreckage Recycling and a bunch of other things, but I think this is a good setup for my purposes. The Hacker, I'm just going with Barrier for the most part. I didn't pick Enhanced Control, though I might in the future. I just think that electromagnetic interference with multiple control also has a couple of opportunities that I might be trying in the future. As far as the Wraith goes, I also built it for health and healing, or rather for armor and healing. Degenerate Beam in order to buff my own units in range, and range enhancement in case I do need it to stay further back. I didn't pick the high explosive ammo or the floating artillery array because they didn't fit in there. As for my Scorpion, I'm basically building it as a long-range super arc light with acid damage. Also field maintenance, because this thing has a lot of health and it may end up shooting targets with relatively low DPS. That can actually help a lot. The Vulcan Ignite, because I've been in a good amount of games where this really hurt the enemy giants. Range enhancement, incendiary bomb, and then I went with sticky oil bomb. You can just throw so much fire the enemy's way if you have a bunch of these, even at a longer range. Range enhancement would be nice if I could fit it in here, but it didn't. Fortress, I'm going with Barrier, Anti-Air Barrage, because that, if the enemy starts wasp harassing, it's so good. Fang Production, though I rarely use it, and Rocket Punch is just a lot of fun. Maybe something else is better, like going for Elite Marksman potentially is useful if they rank up quickly. I think that can actually be good, but I don't think it's good enough. Yeah, I think this is a solid setup as well. As far as my melting point goes, energy absorption, range enhancement, yeah, I always want to say shard diffraction for some reason. It's a shard diffractor from Deep Rock Galactic. Energy diffraction, because melting multiple targets is fun, and electromagnetic barrage is just amazing in the right place. If the enemy starts shielding a lot, this is going to hurt them. Trawlers and armor didn't fit in that build. As far as my overload goes, I'm going for overload artillery. Didn't pick launcher overload because I don't want it to have lower range. Mothership, jump drive, and for buffing my entire unit, basically, photon emission, very important if the enemy starts throwing acid and fire your way, or just relying on a lot of high DPS units. Everything else didn't really fit in here. The War Factory is the last one. I picked up all the production and left out all the unit enhancement by themselves. For one simple reason. This thing does not exist to outrange the enemy, or do damage to the enemy, or survive for an incredible amount of time. If a melting point gets within range, it's basically gone anyway. It exists to produce stuff, and I also found that the missile interceptor is really, really good. How did I find out? Someone beat me with it. Yeah. Anyway, this is my setup. It is probably not the optimal setup, but it's what I'm going for right now. And yeah, let's get on with the actual games. This was from a bit further into the future than the first series of games, but I think I've used this build the entire time.